A teenage girl moves to Nashville with a dream. She wants to be a country singer. The industry tells her she's too pop, too young, too different. She gets rejected by every major label, so her family starts their own label, just to give her a chance. Within a few years, she's one of the biggest stars in country music. Then she gets bigger, too big for country, too pop for country purists. They try to box her in. She leaves the box. They try to own her music. She re-records everything. They try to silence her. She becomes the loudest voice in music. This is Taylor Swift, and her story isn't about talent or luck. It's about the refusal to let anyone else write your story. Reading, Pennsylvania, 1989. Taylor Allison Swift grows up on a Christmas tree farm. Normal childhood, except Taylor isn't normal. She's obsessed with storytelling, writes poetry constantly. By 10 years old, she knows exactly what she wants: to be a country music star. Her parents see the drive, so they make a crazy decision. They move the entire family to Nashville for a 12-year-old's dream. Taylor starts knocking on doors on Music Row, walking into label offices with her guitar and a demo. Every single one says no. You're too young. Country music doesn't work for teenagers. Come back when you're older. But Taylor doesn't wait. She keeps writing, keeps performing. At 14, she catches the attention of Scott Borchetta, who's starting Big Machine Records. He signs her. She becomes the first artist on the label. Her parents help fund it. It's a gamble. Her debut album drops in 2006. She's 16 years old. The album goes multi-platinum. Songs about teenage heartbreak and small-town dreams. Country radio plays her. Teenage girls relate to her. She's not trying to be someone she's not. She's just Taylor, writing songs in her bedroom about real feelings. And it works. Her second album makes her a superstar. By 19, she's winning Grammys, selling out stadiums, living the dream she visualized as a kid. But success brings scrutiny. Country music purists start attacking. She's too pop, not country enough, doesn't fit the mold. Kanye West interrupts her acceptance speech at the VMAs in 2009. She's 19 years old, humiliated on live television, but she keeps going, keeps writing, keeps evolving. Her music starts changing, more pop influences, electronic sounds, big production. The country world feels betrayed. She's abandoning her roots, selling out. But Taylor isn't abandoning anything. She's growing. She's in her 20s. Her life isn't about small-town romance anymore, so her music reflects that. Red Album in 2012 blends country and pop. It's transition, testing boundaries. Then 2014, 1989 album, full pop. No country elements. The transformation is complete. Country radio stops playing her music. Industry veterans say she made a mistake, alienated her base, but Taylor understands something they don't. Her base isn't country fans, it's people who connect with honest storytelling, and those people followed her. 1989 sells 10 million copies, becomes one of the biggest albums of the decade. She proves you can evolve and bring your audience with you if you're authentic. But there's a problem Taylor doesn't see coming: her masters. The original recordings of her first 6 albums. She doesn't own them. Big Machine Records does. Standard industry contract. Artists don't usually own their masters early in careers, but for Taylor, it becomes personal. In 2019, Scooter Braun buys Big Machine Records, and with it, Taylor's entire catalog. The songs she wrote, the recordings she made, now owned by someone she has public conflicts with. Taylor is devastated. She tried to buy her masters. Big Machine refused, sold them instead. She writes a public post explaining how it feels to have your life's work owned by someone else. The music industry shrugs. That's how it works. Get over it. But Taylor doesn't get over it. She does something unprecedented. She announces she's going to re-record everything. Every album, every song, create new masters that she owns. People think she's crazy. Why would fans listen to re-recordings when they have the originals? But Taylor understands her relationship with her fans. They're not just listeners, they're collaborators in her story. She explains the situation, asks them to support the new versions, and they do, massively. The re-recorded albums chart higher than the originals, break records, prove that artist ownership matters more than corporate ownership. Here's what makes Taylor's story powerful. She could have stayed in her lane, stayed country, stayed quiet about her masters, played the game the way the industry wanted. Instead, she rewrote every rule, changed genres when they said don't, spoke up when they said stay silent, took control when they said accept it. The re-recordings aren't just about business, they're about power, about refusing to let someone else profit from your story, about understanding that your art is yours, even when contracts say otherwise. She's literally rewriting her own history, creating new versions, taking back control, and in the process, she's changing how young artists think about ownership, about leverage, about not accepting that this is just how things are. Taylor Swift went from rejected teenager to industry revolutionary. Not because she's the most talented, but because she's the most determined to control her narrative. Every controversy, every evolution, every battle, she doesn't let other people define what it means. She defines it herself, through her music, through her words, through her actions. The girl who got rejected by every label now has fans who will follow her through any genre change, any re-recording, any evolution, because they trust her. Not because she's perfect, but because she's authentic. She doesn't pretend to be something she's not. She doesn't hide her growth. She doesn't apologize for changing. She just keeps writing the next chapter. That's the real lesson from Taylor Swift. Your story isn't written by the people who reject you, or the industry that tries to box you in, or the contracts that seem permanent. Your story is written by you. Every time you refuse to accept limitations, every time you evolve despite criticism, every time you take back what's yours. You're not just living your life, you're authoring it. And nobody can take that power away unless you give it to them. Taylor never did. And that's why she's not just a pop star. She's proof that the pen is mightier than any contract, any genre, any limitation anyone tries to place on you. She's still writing, still rewriting, still refusing to let anyone else hold the pen.